You've probably seen it before, a neat little food chain. Grass is eaten by the rabbit, eaten by the fox, done. But real ecosystems are not even close. And behind every tangled food web is a bigger question. How many organisms can actually survive here on our planet? Today, we'll talk about population explosions, energy bottlenecks, and why your goldfish is not immortal. Food chains are like training wheels for thinking about ecosystems. They show a basic energy flow, sun to producer to consumer, etc. But in reality, these interactions are anything but linear. In a real food web, one species might eat five others and be eaten by three more. Everything's connected and super chaotic. And energy is bleeding out at every level. Only around 10% of energy makes it to the next trophic level. That's why there are way more plants than lions, for example. Energy limits population size. Here's a little example to break that down and make it a little simpler. Let's say that we have a theoretical ecosystem. In this theoretical ecosystem, the sun produces 100 theoretical units of energy. So the plants in this ecosystem would only be able to photosynthesize 10% of those 100 units of energy. So the plants only receive 10 units of energy. And that means that for the rabbits who eat the plants, they're only getting 10% of that energy, which means that they're only getting 1 unit from a single plant. This is why animals like rabbits eat so many plants, and why animals like lions eat so many prey animals like rabbits. Okay, I hope that example helped clear things up for you. Basically, animals higher up the food chain need to eat more organisms lower down the food chain because they're getting less energy from each individual organism that they eat. Now let's zoom in on populations. How many individuals of a species live in one area? Left alone with enough food, most populations grow exponentially. Until they don't. Eventually, resources run out. This is where carrying capacity comes in, the max population an environment can support. This is called logistic growth. Fast start slows down and it flattens out because no resources last forever. If there's too many deer, for example, there's not enough food. Boom, the population drops. If there's too few bees, there's not enough pollination. Plants drop. Like we said before, everything is connected. Another thing about populations is that not all species grow the same way. Some go for quantity, others go for quality. There are two main types of species reproduction cycles: R-selected species and K-select species. R-select species have lots of offspring, short lifespans, and boom and bust cycles. Think of mice, insects, or plants like weeds. K-select animals, on the other hand, have few offspring, but the adults spend a lot of time raising the young, and their populations are more stable than R-select species. So R-select species thrive in unstable environments, but K-select species do best in stable ones where competition is high. These strategies evolve to match different ecological pressures, and they shape how food webs react to change. This means that ecosystems are very fragile things. The removal of one species can throw the whole thing off balance. Here's an example. In Yellowstone, wolves were eradicated by Western settlers. Now, it didn't seem like that much of a problem at first, but then inhabitants realized that the deer population was exploding. As a result, plants started vanishing because the deer were eating so many, and this meant that erosion was more common, which meant that rivers shifted in position. So now you know, when ecosystems collapse, it's not just animals that are affected. We can suffer too. But how do organisms survive all that chaos and shifting and changing? How do they stay in the game? In the next episode, we're diving into the bizarre, brilliant, and sometimes disgusting ways life adapts to survive. From antifreeze frogs to plants that eat bugs, adaptations are up next. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment to support the channel if you want more videos like this.